Right, day 2 of doing this. I got fed up of doing it last night. I thought I could do it all in one day, but I just got fed up of it, as you do, because I had to take an awful lot of stuff off. Jean-Francois already took off the other side footwell. I wish he'd taken this one off as well, because it saved me a lot of time. Look at this piece here. You see how many spot welds are holding that bit in? Look at them all. Just a little bit of corner reinforcement. I mean, the guy must have been getting paid by the spot weld for put this in. I wish they'd paid as much attention to bloody rust proofing as they did putting spot weld in. Hey, it's an interesting thing that it was in the 60s and 70s the Japanese used to buy European cars and take them back to Japan and strip them right down to next to nothing. Well, really to next to nothing, and then count spot welds. They sort of worked out how many spot welds were actually needed to do a job, not like this, not haphazard. And they would have calculated how many it is. And you think how many millions of cars the Japanese have made, and how many millions of spot welds go into on the production line. It would have been a lot. They would have saved a fortune. See, that's good thinking. Anyway, now one thing I wanted to say to you is this. I had a hell of a job getting this off, and what you should do when you're using grinders and drills and stuff like this, honestly, goggles. And if you're doing this inside like I am in winter, a dust mask is a must. Now, a lot of people will be saying, well, Mike, what about all these masks we've got here? These would stop a virus, surely they'd stop dust. Bloody things, junk. Wouldn't even stop a pig in a passage, them bloody things. So, we've got it all trimmed down. Let's have a look around and see what we've got. So this was a bit of a naughty one to get out. It was kind of soft, but they'd sort of gone overboard with spot welds. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 6 there in that little section there. Like I said, these were all over the place here. Not to worry about that. I had to slit up here to get the footwell out because it wouldn't drop out straight, if you see what I mean. I'll just weld that up and you won't see it, but then that piece came out. I did need the dismantling tool to get under there to break some of those welds off. They were kind of naughty. What have I done with that piece? Oh, it doesn't really matter. This was interesting, getting this corner off here. What I've done is, you can see that it's very good metal inside here, so I've trimmed this down and then I'll measure off here and just cut a piece of door pillar off to fit. You know, we'll make sure all the bolt holes line up and things like that, don't worry about that, but we'll work off the bottom here and then just butt weld it on. And then once this is all open like this, we'll put a bit of square tubing inside of here just to clamp it up here and here and weld it so it's nice and strong. Like I say, this side came out kind of good. I've got a bit more buffing to do. I just buffed it off rough. And then I've got this bit to do here. I thought I had one of those, but I didn't. It's kind of easy to make anyway, so it's not the end of the world. Also, I've got to drill out the holes here for the splash shields. Where are they on this one? Oh, there doesn't seem to be any. Anyway, we'll work that out. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to take the dolly to this and straighten all this lot out, buff it all off. We'll probably have to use a die grinder to clean this off rather than the grinder, because if you catch yourself with a buffing wheel on sharp edges, they'll just sort of explode. So that's why we wear goggles and stuff like that. Other than that, it's not too bad. So let's get on with that. So I've trimmed up the bottom door pillar so the holes are in line here. Got that clamped onto there. I've trimmed the front down. This is the most important bit. There's a bit of a gap at the bottom, but I'm going to put a little plate on the inside. But perhaps you can notice straight away why I was struggling with the other side. The original thickness of the door pillar is that wide, and this is the new one. Now on that side I was having a struggle pulling that in, and consequently pushed when I welded it pushed out that side panel and wouldn't go in. So it seems to be there's a bit of a difference in the thickness. Now what's bent wrong? Is it this? Well, I don't think so. I think the door pillars are wrong. But that's why I had a struggle. I mean, it's alright, it'll do the bloody job, but you know, but that's one of the things you've got to watch for with the aftermarket parts, isn't it? Yeah, so I've got the plate welded, well, not welded in, but I've got the pillar welded, and I've done just a bit of a light buff around there. I've put a couple of clamps to hold that panel on square to the door pillar. Looks alright. I've got to drop it down a little bit. It should come down a little bit further, but that's only clamped. But when we look on here, you can see the problem I had at the other side. The bloody door pillar's a mile off. You know, look at that. A bloody great gap. So what I'd done before is I'd welded that to that, and then I had to force this back again. Okay. So what I'm going to have to do, I think I'll just put a filler strip in there. I'll just put a strip of metal in. So I'm back onto this footwell again. What I've done is I've put this panel on here, this side panel, a couple of Tech screws in the right height, because that's almost touching the bottom. It fitted lovely, and I thought I'd just drop in this footwell panel. It seems to be as if it's tipping. Well, no, it's tipping this way. So here, the corner of the metal is here instead of being here. This one, the corner is here. So there's something stopping it going down, and I think it's here. Well, I found the culprit. It was just a piece of metal here from a spot weld that I had to use the dismantling tool, and it was hitting the corner of here. Kind of tricky to get to. So we'll use a die grinder and take that edge off, and that'll allow our panel to go right up. So it's something to watch. I know this looks a bit of a mess, but it'll all turn out nice again. And yeah, so that's it. Let's die grind that off. So that's it. That's all it was. There's that little weld here in that corner, that little bit of metal, which was throwing us off a little bit. It's lined up really nice. I did do it parallel. I cut a bit off here and I cut a bit off here, and this is now parallel to this. There's a taper here, but it's touching all the way down here, so you sort of can't win with it. I don't know. So I've got it in the best I can. Over here is beautiful. Let's go around the back and let's have a look. Ooh. Oh dear. Yeah, so there you go. This panel fits lovely. Look at that. It's nice, that. Gap here. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. This is nice, all the way down here. Just want a little bit tippity-tapping down here. Yeah, no, it's going to be good. Going to be good. It's parallel to the frame, all the way across, and all the way across here is the same height, so that's good. That's the sort of things you're looking for, if you see what I mean. If you can sort of get down there, you can probably see. I don't know if you can see through here, but it's pretty much straight. I've started to strip my threads in those blocks. I'll have to helicoil them. Anyway, so that's it. So what she's going to get now is a lot of welding. Back in a bit.